Hey everybody, it's Pastor Jamie. And I just want to clarify a couple of things from what was said Sunday about the changes that are happening on June the 12th at our church. As many of you know, we've decided that we're going to move to two services on Sunday mornings starting June 12th. Those two service times will be 9:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now that also means that there will be Sunday school offered at 11 o'clock and 9:30, as well as an 8:30 early bird class for senior adults and maybe some empty nesters who don't require children's ministry or childcare. And so 8:30 will be for senior adults and empty nesters that don't need children's ministry or childcare. 9:30 and 11 will have all the nursery, preschool, children's, Club 56, teenagers, and adult small groups at 9:30 and 11, and all that starts on June the 12th. Now, some have asked, well, why are we making these changes now? And I want to just address that maybe for a few moments, maybe help you try to understand the reasoning for why we made these decisions and made them now. First off, we've been watching this for about 6 or 7 months and considering this change. And really, we're trying to take into consideration, particularly this last quarter, coming off of Easter, coming into summer, and really looking at what our attendance was on Sunday mornings. And so we began to see a pattern of where we really were post COVID and what had settled into who our normal Sunday morning attenders were. And so we're watching those numbers, and they've kind of settled into a certain number that's substantially less than what it was before COVID. It's about 200 people less, probably from about 850 people to about 650, some odd, give or change, give or take a few there. And so that's created some concerns. The other side of this is that we've been under a lot of pressure in trying to coordinate children's and preschool ministries for 3 blocks of time on Sunday morning in our configuration as it is. This has been a lot of strain. There have been people who've been coming back, people who have come back, but many of them have not come back to serve. And so that's actually put a strain on the whole system in trying to get enough volunteers to make children's ministry and preschool and even Club 56 and teenagers happen in the way that we want them to happen with the numbers that we need in serving. And so it just made sense to consolidate down to 2 hours to offer those particular things, particularly. The other side of this is that, and we sensed this back in March as we had the Life Action conference, but having more time on Sunday morning in our services is important. And in a 3 block service format, services run about an hour and 5 minutes, and it was pretty rigid on that. So many times we were cutting out things or leaving out things or trying to rush at the end of service times. And even after that, people couldn't hang out. People couldn't linger and fellowship together because we had to get people out so that we could get new people in for the services. And so in March, we saw this kind of settledness of not being in a rush, having a little bit extra time in the room, and it just made us remember of maybe some things that we used to have that we had given up on to have the 3 services. So as we look at the numbers, the seating capacity in our worship center is about 450 or so. And most of the services at this point are running about 160 to 170 people. And so it makes sense that even if you consolidate down to 2 services, you're going to have about 250 people in the room, and that gives you 200 extra seats for growth. And we've learned a little bit. We've had our 3 services for quite a few years now. And what we found was there is a stifling of connection because people that came to 8:45 never even saw the people who came at 11:15, and there were literally people on our campus who didn't even know they went to church together. So at least with these changes, everybody will be on campus at the same time. Hopefully it'll be a little bit of lingering, a little bit more hanging out in the hallway a bit, and then everybody will see everybody from our church community at least while being on campus. I know this creates some problems. I know there's some struggles because some people have been serving in an hour, connecting in an hour, and then also worshiping in an hour, and you're having to make some choices because going down to 2, that makes you have to give up something, or something's got to give. And we know this. But I will say there are other ways to get connected. There's that 8:30 hour possibly that we can leverage. There's home groups, there's connect groups. If you're thinking about trying to find an alternate way of meeting in a small group time, we're going to try to address this as we can, as best we can as a staff, and make sure that people have those opportunities. Might even be some more rotations involved in some of these children's and preschool ministries so that we can make sure that people are not out of worship or not out of connect group all the time on Sunday morning. So we're going to try to attack that as best we can. But that all happens on June the 12th. It'll be 9:30 and 11 for our services. There'll be an 8:30 early bird class. Some adult classes are already kind of talking through what that looks like for them. Maybe your class is going to talk about that this Sunday and make sure you guys are on the same page. But I think this is the best move for us going forward. I think post COVID, it was necessary. The timing of it was hard because we had Mother's Day and graduate recognition. We've got Memorial Day and also commissioning of our VBS volunteers, followed by Father's Day coming up soon in June. And so just the timing of all this and trying to get enough lag time for people to make the changes necessary, we just felt like this Sunday was the time. And so we got our deacons on board with that, and then move forward for Sunday and telling everybody. So you've got a month to figure it out. Just know we're here. We want to help you make that decision and figure out what that looks like for your family. Pray about it, think it through, what that looks like for y'all. And hopefully God will bless us in this. We're trying to make some changes. I think this gets us back at that 11 o'clock hour for maybe for newcomers that might come around as well. And so I'm excited about that, excited about having a few more people in the room, excited about having a little bit more time. Not that we're going to, give you an hour and a half service, but it gives us that flexibility to add another chorus, add a prayer time here, include a testimony, not feel rushed so much from stage. So I think that's going to help us in the flow of our services as well. And then just having that lingering time after a service that people don't feel rushed and maybe can reconnect with some folks around them. So we're looking forward to this. If you have any questions, come see us, and see you Sunday. Bye.